Thank you so very much for being back. And if you just joined us, you are on to Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our conversation for this morning. Hakeem Baba-Ahmed, former spokesperson of the Northern Elders Forum, NEF, has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to abandon any plans of seeking re-election in 2027, arguing that he has not demonstrated the drive or effectiveness needed to fix the country. Speaking in an interview, Baba-Ahmed said that despite Tinubu's reputation as a skilled political strategist, his performance in office has fallen short. He recalled telling colleagues after resigning as the vice presidential special advisor in April that he hoped the president would not run again, noting that Tinubu had already fulfilled his long-held ambition of becoming president but had not governed the nation well. Baba-Ahmed added that the energy and strategic brilliance previously associated with Tinubu had not been evident in his administration. He advised the president to support a younger, healthier, and more focused candidate from within his party instead of pursuing another term. According to him, Nigeria's challenges require a leader capable of responding decisively to crisis, something he believes Tinubu has not demonstrated. He warned that the country has deteriorated too severely to continue operating as though the situation is normal. I still have with me Mr. Shoyinto Ajola for being here. Thank you so very much, sir. We truly do appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. So this is more like a transition from what we were speaking about on our newspapers to what we have now, as corroborated by Baba-Ahmed, who was then a special advisor, and now he has resigned to tell President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he's not fit enough to run Nigeria. Do you think that is coming from a place of politics or from a place of a brother telling another brother that you are not good enough to run this? And of course, he advised that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should back a younger, healthier person within the APC to run the country rather than him. What's your take on this?
The president has the right to contest again. In a free and fair election, his ambition will be determined by Nigerians who vote. Of course, when election is not free and fair, he can impose himself by buying all valuables. Baba-Ahmed has just usual advice, not really a directive. And it is for him to consider it or not. But it's like Baba-Ahmed doesn't know Tinubu well. I've been following the government when he came out with his Jamsoke corruption reading campaign. And that was the first opinion of him I had. This is a man that's stubborn. Of course, he's a merchant, he's a political merchant. So you don't tell a merchant not to go to shop, to go and sell, make profit. He is a merchant, stubborn and very dubious, of no specific ideology or principle beyond buying and selling of political aids, political support, of course, getting election. Look at his life, you look at the background when he was governor of Lagos State. Well, people look at him the first time as a performing governor based on a lot of propaganda. I've been in Lagos since 1976 off and on. And I know that those who are always talking, about Lagos, they are not really in Lagos. Because when I was in Lagos at 70s to many years ago, you will see how they have destroyed Lagos. Times of taking over properties, allocating to themselves, closing all the avenues to make public way to people, just allow the way to be accepted in this. And it's a guy that used, I think, four deputy governors Yoruba has one thing they call alailojuti. Alailojuti means somebody who doesn't care about his name, his integrity, and that is, people don't understand. Alailojuti in Yoruba is, to me, the strongest abuse of anybody to describe anyone alailojuti. That is, there is nothing he cannot do. There's nothing. He can rape, he can steal, he can lie, he can kill. And when you tell him, he will not even go like, what is it? What is it? And of course, you have supporter that will support him. So that is what Tinubu is. Because you don't need to be told not to contest or to contest. It should have been your personal thing. Wow, all I said, all I campaigned against, I so-called position in that, I have done worse. All policies that I condemn, I have done worse. Insecurity, that is the basic essential of your duty. You have done worse. So what else do you want to serve? What else do you want to serve? Even those who performed, like Nelson Mandela, he looked at it, he not only performed, he served for his country 27 years. And the man left just
one time in
like
office.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, just one time. Because he understands that there is no compensation in governance. You don't compensate people. What you do is you make your country to be better. That is general compensation. And Mandela was even happy to. He said no. Of course, yeah. In those days, people look party leadership. They look for who are going to be governors, just like when they were looking for. In those days too, they look for who are going to be vice chancellor. Now that office has become so contestable that people are now using juju to carry sacrifice, having anointing oil, drinking gallons of to just become vice chancellor. It shows, in the person. The same thing applies to political life. I remember that when Onabanjo became governor of the candidate of state, it took a lot of time to look for Cholia, who later became. Most indigenous, they didn't want to. But today, just tell him to come and become councillor. He will grab it because he knows he's going to see that. Something applies to him. It's not about government. You don't need to, even with self-reflection, if you can reflect and think deeply. Now go and check your rightful, I call it rightful condemnation of bad policy of Jonathan. And come and see what you are doing now. Even if you look at it, if it has shape, if it's not your alive with it, you look at it. What is me? Don't let me destroy myself further by going forward with all these atrocities I've committed. They mark Nigerian politicians are marshals. They are talking, you have made politics to be the most profitable industry with the fastest, turnover. You go and get 1 billion and you go and open the factory. You may liquidate and go into total debt. If you put 1 billion in politics in your area, small area, maybe you want to control the chairmanship or you want to sponsor somebody as share, you can win. Except there's fair election. And people determine this. And this is where the burden is less on politicians, but it's on the people to ensure that they vote right. They vote and look at their votes, that those votes count. And they don't allow them to be bought. It may be a difficult, I don't know why people said that is UPN, how lost party campaign there was, don't collect their money. But you now saw that, look, this don't collect their money. It may be a bit difficult because people are so hungry, they've made governance so terrible that people are hungry. So collect their money, they vote against them. So that make sure your election, your vote count. And I think the same thing applies here. Whether Tinubu is coming back or not. On a good day, in a good country, going to lose outright. That even if you bring a secondary school boy, he's going to lose. How do you You have to, it's not about ethnic now or religion or hatred or likeness. It's about facts on ground.
Yeah.
That is the thing. You look at statistics. You look at how many people are now out of school. You look at the value of our naira. You look at our international unit. You look at our roads. I just came back from Osun to Lagos. There's a portion in Abeokuta side, Odeda Rochelle to Oban to. I've not passed that place for about a few years, about 4 5 years. That place is worse than a war-torn country. The same thing applies for Ekiti. When the day I went to Ekiti. So what are you talking about? You are building one Lagos Calabar, which is to loot fun, and it's not even, you didn't even publicize for people to come and fight for it, nothing like that. No due process, what have you. So I feel that people can advise, but it is the people themselves that will advise through their votes that young man or old man, go and rest. Just go and rest. You have tried. At least you have done your 4 years. So go and rest. But I can't know. Even when your child comes from school, you look at the report card. If you have asked your child, as you are going out, what are you going to take in English? You ask in this, and he falls below. All your promises to give him something will not be able to do that. And if he had, you say, look, you said this, now this is what you got. So what that means is that I'm not going to do that. So the same thing applies. Look at it now. Look at it. I mean, it's obvious. In my village alone, 2 Yalogi that were selling pap and lemon, they are closed down. Let's even come back to the basics. Forget all this elite business. Have closed down. And one of them is now being on my mates, Malamala, in a Mala shop. This mother has about 3 children, and he's a widow. Of course, the other one is just doing the manual work, helping people to wash. Can you imagine these people that have their own little businesses that are working on? Shops have collapsed. A lot of shops have collapsed. You came in when flour was less than 50 or less than 45. Now flour is around 57, 58. So what are you talking about? You came in when bread was around 400, 500. Now it's 1,500. And money you gave people have been valued. So what do you want to do? Which magic you want to do? Second time, tell me the magic. Tell me the
But
magic.
do you think we should blame this really on the character of the president or his upbringing, or is it the environment he finds himself? Because we truly can't understand, because you compared him with Mobutu Sese Seko, and if you take the antecedents of Mobutu, you will see selfishness, you see greediness. He killed his boss, his boss that handed over to him, or he took over the power from him. Yes. So what do you think, and who do you think we should blame for the issue with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has the opportunity of fixing the problem, but he is deliberate on not allowing these problems to be solved? Where do you think the issue is coming from?
Well, don't forget his upbringing. In a very controversial ways. He's a street guy. Put that as an name. There's nothing bad to be a street guy. But if you're a street guy along the line and you are able to get to the level, you should have changed that character. You have a problem of certificate, of where you are born, of where you are making your money. You have a problem of even drug baron and drug allegation. So all these moral burden are too much on me. On a good day, people like him could have been on rehabilitation instead of becoming leaders. After that, they can act. Then you see when you can have your way. Just like when you have all these nasty boys in the area. They didn't just start. God did not create a nasty boy or a drug bearer. No, it's environment. It's environment. From environment to character. And of course, if there is no family upbringing, what do? In those days, yeah, they should not hear, "Oh, my mommy will do this, my daddy will do this." Then we are talking about family values. If you are denied that and you're on the street, of course, and you are struggling to survive, and you are surviving. So there's no way you look at the other side of morality, for you to have a change of mind. That is what is doing in politics now. He believes that, well, what is it? Even a man, a senior man I met one time, you know what he told me? He said he has read about me, about my critical Tinubu, that basically he saw that I picked him on integrity and character that is not fit to govern. Because we are talking of a nation where we are building future, the youth. And if you know what the man told, the man said he agreed that he's one of the supporters. He said he agreed that doesn't have integrity, it doesn't have faith. We should try and give him a chance because Nigeria has been governed by people who say they have integrity and they fail. That this one doesn't come with integrity. He always said he wanted to do one or two things. I look at the man. The man who should ever be close to it. I said, Baba, what you said, you think it's worthy of that somebody doesn't have integrity, doesn't have character, they should be given to lead people. After about 6, 7, 8 months, I saw the man. The first so ridiculous. Say, Baba, see what I'm talking about. Well, you're right. What do we do? Don't put yourself in despondency. Your finger, your vote counts a lot. And of course, I started campaigning for Paulo. That was the first campaign I attended at Ake Palace in 1982. I started campaigning for it because I saw the vision. When I got to the palace, and I was campaigning on education. I was educated, totally educated. How many schools are expecting to build? How many students they are expecting? How many teacher training college they are going to do in the state? He was giving all the statistics. I was so serious about it. It was only 1 or 2 times that Bola sang my chorus, to appreciate him, for us to vote for him. When I was leaving, I saw the vision. But today, what do they do? One will call one king, one Fuji king. Another one will call Fuji, call artist. In the campaign, nothing is given, nothing is said, nothing is expected. The smoker will smoke, the dancers will dance, and the candidate will not even do anything to talk. And if the candidate want to talk, you will abuse. Yeah, and that is it. Let's go and listen to Tinubu's campaign. The best way to disarm him is to listen to him. He's talking nothing. Please go and check. And I want to be confronted by it. He's talking nothing. It's either he abuses, he raises slogans. That's why he's escaping, running away from media interview, serious media interview. Or even now, for him to showcase himself. Because unlike Bola Ahmed, where Bola Ahmed was campaigning, you can see the content has gone. Even about why follow closely. You can see the campaign. They will tell you this, tell you that, they're going to do it, and what have you. Then you start wondering, are these people special? It's unfortunate that those of us who saw such tenure, such regime of politicians, we are now seeing this quacks.
Was Tinubu like this? Was Tinubu like this before 1999 when he was the governor of Lagos? Because I listened to him during the Third Republic when he was running for the position of representing his constituency in Lagos with Moshood Abiola. Was he actually like this today? If you compare him to what he was in the past when he was running to be the senator during the Third Republic.
He was the same. He was the same yesterday and the same today. Some people are so gifted in terms of religiosity that what they want to do, they keep it inside. Up to Rogundola, I was a military governor of Lagos State, said in his published Then I think one of Tinubu boys was packing, and he came back to tell us that even as at the time Abiola was in prison, detention, that Tinubu had a permanent share in his office. He
Had the
was
what
pushing
again?
for Tinubu.
You say he had the what?
He had a permanent share
Okay.
in his office, that he was pushing diarchy, and he was placing himself to be deputy governor of Lagos State. There are all the cabinet members that all the cabinet members he picked in Lagos as military governor of Lagos State had the input of Tinubu. So the man will come in the morning to shout, on June 12 we stand. You come in the evening to negotiate. So some people are gifted. I am not that gifted, because I'll tell you where I'm going. I don't even have stomach to stomach nonsense, because I was trained parent to be this and not to be that. And you have to also train yourself. So it has been like that. If not, how can somebody campaign for 30 years, over 30 years, for restructuring, resource control, state police, local government autonomy, a fine bourgeois program. At the moment Buhari came in, he stopped saying that. He did not even only stop saying that, he started supporting Buhari in every atrocities he committed. So I wonder why those Abubaku that were supporting Buhari and Tinubu are not complaining that Buhari destroyed Nigeria. You were there now when you are supporting everything he did, because he wanted power. He was negotiating power at the risk of Nigerians going to hell. That is not leadership. He has been like that. Only that he has stamina to have two Tinubus living in me. So we place the one that is obvious and relevant to his ambition. Why he crossed. Now we are seeing him now. Nobody changes. That's the truth. At that level, you don't change. What you are becoming now is as simple as ABC. Yoruba used to say, a finiwa. This character is like smoke. And I've personally I have confirmed that many times. If you marry, or you have a girlfriend, or you have a business partner, or you have a friend that you have had something negative about him, and because you are together, she decided to hide it. I'm telling you, it's going to come out with that attitude. That's what is happening now. It's been like that. People will say, no. And people will say, stupid talk always. The chorus for foolish people. Saboteur, it was not allowed. It was gagged by mafia. It was when somebody said we should not even pity him. He knew what he wanted to come out with. So people who out of partisan stupidity are giving excuses. Even for the security, they are saying the North, they wanted power. The Guinea country. It's the same allegation that Jonathan regime are giving Tinubu and that they were. We are not interested in that. You have all the security forces with you. You have all the chief of staff. So if you see a saboteur, go and arrest him and prosecute him. Just like Buhari and Jonathan are the same, and not the same saboteur. Now you have a list of terrorist sponsors from Buhari regime. If you are a change government, as you want us to believe, which is not possible, because you are part of us, you even told us that it's going to continue the terribly bad Buhari regime. You should have all those people you have surrendered their names to security forces. They should be in jail now. They should be in jail, because a president that is the ultimate power, if not the most powerful country in the world, the president in the world, cannot come and start telling us, saboteur, they don't want me to come back, they are doing that. You knew all this happened now. Maybe you went to Ondo State to tell a man, a very leader, Rafa Suronti, yes, that we are the cows. We are the cows. I mean, it tells you how desperate he was to get back. You went to visit a 90-year-old man who was killed by S-Men Fulani, the gangsters. And because you didn't want to ruffle the boat of Buhari and his northern oligarchy, because of that, because you are thinking of becoming, you cannot say the truth. You cannot even keep quiet and just sympathize with the man and go. Now has I ever seen the council now? Killings everywhere. And it's not only the bad Fulani S-men of terrorists. They have even incorporated different ethnic groups into their crime. Because crime is big business. It may start by one or two people. Of course, it's going to spread around because of the economy. I read somewhere, I think where the man said he was terrorized, he was kidnapped, he managed to escape, he got to a place and they were speaking, I think he got to Kaba, and they were speaking domestic language, calling the kidnapper, why do they allow him to escape and whatever. And they didn't know. He understood that and he escaped. So it's like the thing is spreading.
Yes, because Mr. Shonito, if I might interject here, just yesterday we learned that 6 realtors that went to Awode, Obafemi Awode, I would love to believe, somewhere in Ogun State, just 30 minutes to the barracks and the government office, where they went for inspection. They were abducted yesterday in Ogun State. Just yesterday, 6 realtors that went for inspection with a real estate firm were abducted, and it is becoming a community thing now. Community come together, partake in the ransom taking, and commit this crime. And all of this are all nailed to socio-economic issues that we have in Nigeria, which means it is widespread. No one is safe in Nigeria as we speak today under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Like I wrote a satire that look, if you are demolishing people's houses, their means of livelihood, without reallocating them somewhere, then the best thing for you is to pack all of them, thousands of them, and throw them into the lagoon or the sea. Why is that? You have not studied the social crime impact of those who you have dehumanized. This is not about whether they are staying there legally or illegally. No, it's about appreciating that they are human beings. Okay, they are here illegally, but they are living, they have children, they have wife, they have husband. So what do? That's a social crime, and that's a social issue. We now relocate them. Like I said, I think some times ago, when I was in Libya for a program, there was a place they call Modena. Modena it's like an area abandoned. This is where some of African illegal immigrants will come and settle for some time. I now asked, why is this place so large and people don't really stay there? I was informed that Gaddafi has built new Medina. So he has recruited the people to another Medina. So that place is just there. Pending the time, it's going to renovate it, either destroy it. So when you say meanwhile it's for land grab, when you land grab and you tell thousands of people to go to hell, that they are like water will find their way. Well, water will also find its way in flood. And that's the same thing applies. When you sack people, you suffer them, you build them, you destroy their house without anything. Some of them will join crime. You don't need to be a pastor to start knowing that. Some of them will join all these terrorists because he needs to survive. And water must find its way. It just have to find its way. So in all this land grabbing for their elites to have the place, you are without recepting people. we have not even seen any act of banditry. They are going to see what those who are called food lumps increasing. Food lumps may not be food lumps, that is those who loot food in warehouses anywhere in the market. They may not be criminal per se, but they are hungry and they want to eat. So they are just people, what you can call conditional criminal, the seductive one. That's why you see Afar, people in the Jab, people in the Castle, even Reverend. Look at the looting during Buhari regime in Ilorin. I took time to study the the people who came there to loot. They were just doing it because to purpose, because you see them in Ashwadura. You know the forest. One man carry bag but carry bag of rice. He wanted somebody to help him to carry it. I think all these things we have to do documentary and a lot of publication on it, and I think we have to start doing that. But it's so funny. So one woman, that man was wear something like a far with the cap. He was carrying. Then the other woman was coming. He said, Afa, he was telling the woman to help him carry the load. Yeah, you have taken one already. I can not believe. Yeah, you have taken one bag of rice. I am just going. I may not meet anything there. Let me also carry this. The man sat. By the time the woman got there, I was able to see Indomie. So I know these people will still go to church, go to mosque in the evening because you have made them to be criminals. So you are just, in fact, we have not even terrorism or banditry because the policy of government is send people back to the street to go and find for themselves. And we are going to be the victim. We the struggling people are going to be the victim because yes, somebody told me that he was way late on the traffic because he now said just this happened. Yes, it was a Sunday. Before he knew what was happening, he didn't wind up totally. He just saw that somebody has put knife in the afternoon.
Wow.
On his neck, while waiting for light. Okay, give me money in your pocket now. So I was so lucky, I had 5,000. He gave the man. Then the other one said, no, I want bring your answer. Bring your answer. And they said, what do you decide? What do I want to do? Do I struggle with somebody who has knife? Because later when you look outside, you saw that they are still going ahead to rob other cars. So that is essential for government to know that your policy should first of all be people focused. It's not about people focused. If you say, okay, just in any area, if a parent is irresponsible and the children become outcasts, the area is going to suffer from it.
Yeah.
That area, before they get to other areas, that area, those children that are outcasts, that are not trained, that were allowed by their parents to go to the street, will be. That's why we have all these people. And unfortunately for Nigeria, many of them will develop to politicians, and some of them are better politicians. That their own aim is kill and go, just get the vote, just get the power. And this is what we're having now. That is where the narrative has came dangerously. People don't want, I mean, this time people don't go to politics anymore, just few of them. Politics that should allow retired principal, retired reverend, retired bishop, retired imam, retired civil servant to go and do something. I remember Senator Kunle Oyero was just, a struggling lawyer when I raised his hand up in 1982 as senator for Ogun Central. That was my senate, my central district. The man, meanwhile, contested against Simpilat Abiola. And Abiola was spending money weekly, buying food, giving people water. But people knew that Olowo was not credible to give them a candidate. That Abiola would let them pay. And Abiola's wife lost Simpilat, lost woefully. So, but nowadays, you don't have all those minimal morality again. What you have is just take girls to take women to campaign, dance, give talks money, give National Union talks money, give them money to go and rob, give courses on campuses to go and relay with INET, to go and see professors themselves, give them money to write. I mean, it's so, that's my fear. We will soon go. What of those who are coming? And we should be wary. I mean, we should be careful on how these people are going back the younger ones. That's why you see thousands of people running away. They're running away. As we are talking, thousands, we are able to a friend uh, who had this experience in Libya in 1990s ago, who was just about 3 years ago. It was terrible. If you just read the book, you feel. I used to call the guy. Are you sure this thing you put down here was right? I said yes. Our people are attracted. Desert, Nigeria, that we have everything to ourselves. Now you don't have nothing for people to be proud about. People say, go to farm. Which kind of farm the person wants to be. I have about saying on the channel, a program by Edwin Obiro yesterday, that we should go to farm. Yes, no. Can you imagine that humanity of mine? Go to farm, that he is farming. Okay, tell me, how know when they did their farm settlement, they put people in places, in houses. I was in one of the farm settlements, 2-bedroom flat. They help people to clear their land. They help people to give them seed. They bought from them so that theirs is just to farm. They now go to farm, they graduate to get an acre of land now. If you spend it close to 1.5 million in the rural area, if not more than that, in a semi-urban area. So it's about fantasy, creating a fantasy. If something apply, they will tell you, secure yourself. How do you secure yourself? Tell me now. AK-47, how much is it? And these bandits will come in through. So what is happening to the fundamental right? Yeah, people have to be vigilant, give information out. But to say, during COVID, I knew that fantasy is just a meaningless fantasy. We came out. Most of us that came out because of these bandits coming in the area. Most of us, the best we had as our own counter ammunition was our answer. I was the only one that had dog. I had dog, Tasha, that was there. All other, either you had answered, there may be some drinks to keep us alive in order to save our community. If anybody comes, and maybe 1 or 2 boys have this drink on, if just 10 people come, we take a 47 or 5, everybody will be crazy.
Very well. Yes. Are you still there? All right. I think we've seemed to have lost the audio there. And Mr. Sherrington was speaking, of course, to numerous issues with regards to governance and why it should be treated well. Nigeria has more than enough opportunity to get it right, but unfortunately, we do not have the right kind of people, to make it work. The Greek philosopher Plato would always say that the best of us should lead the rest. But in Nigeria, what we have is the worst of us leading the rest of us. And little wonder you have abduction, you have kidnapping, you have banditry, and you have the government of the day working with the same bandits and asking them not to do it again rather than exterminating them. These are all proceeds of the worst of us leading the rest of us. How would we get out of this conundrum is the big rhetorical question that we do not know how we would actually go about it. But as human beings, it's our desire to be hopeful and trust that things would get better. Thank you so very much, Mr. Sherrington, for being here. We truly do appreciate you, your insight, your experience, your historical backgrounds to all the things you have said today. We truly do appreciate every single one of them. Thank you so very much, sir, once more. All right.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, thank you so very much, sir. So that's just about the time we have for today. We'd love to say thank you so much for being here. Please do well to visit us again if you may. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike. God bless Nigeria. God bless you. Stay safe, and I'll see you next. Bye-bye.